Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I want to show you guys how I made this lovely Queen Anne neckline gown, Milkmaid gown. Please subscribe to my channel and watch till the end so that you get value out of this video. Thank you so much. So this is the material I want to use for this tutorial. It's about 3 years. So these are the measurements. You have your bust measurements, your waist measurements, under bust measurements, shoulder measurements, sleeve, both round sleeve and long sleeve, then hip, gown length, front length and back length. Okay, so you know the normal drill now. You draft your basic bodice first. From the top of the pattern paper, I'm coming down by 8.25 inches. That is my bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1 inch plus 1.5 inch. So from that place, I'm coming down by 1.5 inch. This will give me my bust point measurement. It's accurate. So from the top part of the pattern paper, you come down by your under bust measurement. Mine is 12.5. I have a small body, so you can use your own accurate measurements. So I'm trying to label the center front and the center back for easy identification. So I decided to change the marker pen in case you are not seeing what I'm doing. So from the back, center back, I'm going up by 2 inches, which is my back length. You know that the front length and the back length is different, so that's what I'm doing. I just marked it now. So you put your neck depth and your neck width, that is 3 by 3. I'm using 3 by 3 to do mine, but you can divide your bust by 12 to get your accurate neck depth and neck width, but I'm using the standard 3 by 3. So my shoulder is 14, divided by 2 is 7. That's what I'm marking now. After that, we'll come down by 1.5 inches as usual. We are coming down by 1.5 inches for our neck slope, shoulder slope, to avoid gaping and for it to relax well. So your bust span, that is your nipple to nipple measurement, you can put that down now. Mine is 3.5. So from my waist up to my bust points, I put my bust span measurement divided by 2. If your bust span is 8, you divide it by 2, that's 4. If it's 7, divided by 2, that's 3.5. Then I took half inches for my that leg, half inches. I don't know why my camera was not capturing that part, but that was what I did. You know the normal drill now. So from the slope, the shoulder slope, I divided it by 2 to get the center, and then came in by 0.5 inches. So I'm dividing my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 34 divided by 4. That's about 8.5 inches or so. But I put another half inch, that's 9. I like putting half inch for ease. So I connected the dots from my armhole to my waist measurements. So after that, I'm trying to put my the difference between my front and my back. That's what I just did now. Please don't forget to do this, or else it will ruin your whole outfit. So for the back, we are going in by ½ inch for the zipper slope to avoid bulging at the back. So that's what I'm trying to do. From the center, you go in by 3 inches, then to the neck depth is 1 inch for the back. So from the chest line, I'm adding 7.5 inches for my shoulder instead of 7 because of the ½ inch I took on the for the zipper slope. So I came down by 1 inch instead of 1.5 for the back. So I'm dividing the shoulder, the armhole, and then I'll come in by 0.5 instead of 0.75. So my waist measurement is divided by 4 is 6.5 plus 1 inch for that intake is 7.5. So I'm taking 4 inch for my dart for the back. So ½ inch for the dart leg, and then I came down by 1 inch and connected my dart. So this is the basic slope, basic bodice. So from the top part of your pattern paper, you come down by 6 inches, or anyhow you want it exposed, you come down by the number. Then after that, from the line, you go in by ½ inch from the center front to your under bust, and then mark. Then after marking it, you draw your curve from that line to your under bust. You draw it and then go in by 1 inch from the armhole and draw the second curve with your pattern paper, ruler, the way I'm doing it now. Then after that, you go in by 1 inch from the armhole, from the curve of the armhole. Please watch this very well. Go in by that and then place your curve for your Queen Anne neckline. Place your curve like this for your Queen Anne neckline. Okay, then after that, you do the same for the front. Then for the back, the way I'm doing it, do the same for the back too, the way you did for the front. So from the pattern paper of the back, you go in by 1 inch or 2 inch, depending on how exposed you want the back to be. I don't want my back to be exposed too much. That's why I went in by 2 inches, so that when I open it will be 4 inches. That's for the lacing bar. Then you cut your you close your bust dart so that you'll be able to redraw this curve very well, unless it will not align. After that, you proceed to cut your patterns out, because the next thing we are going to do is to sew. But after that, we'll do some little alterations first before sewing it. So I don't want the dart line in the front to show. That's why I'm closing it. I sellotape it so that the dart line, I will not have to sew the front together. Now this is how it looks like after cutting it out of the pattern paper. You can see how beautiful it is. Now I'm going down by 1 inch or 1.5 from the center front, so that it will give me space to pass my loop, or my sorry, my rope. So this is how it looks like after doing that. I want to be able to pass my rope comfortably in the front. This is the neck. This is the neck line. We are going to go in. We are going to come down by half inch in order to how do I put it? Is in order to straighten the, not straighten. in order to, I've forgotten that one. Okay, we'll go down by 1/2 inch so um that place will not gape when you stitch it together with the front. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm on this voiceover thing. Anyway, that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to, yes, I went down by 1/2 inch so that I'll cut it out, and then the front too, so that place will not gape after sewing it. Please do this. So this is how the back looks like. Okay, and then this is how the front looks like. Yes, now we are going to place our patterns on our fabric. So I tried placing this fabric on my table. It's too small. It did not work because I want to do a line for the gown part. So I'm trying to place it on the table. The A-line thing did not work out, so I had to go to the floor. So guys, I folded my fabric in form of a triangle. Then I came down by 15 inches. I did this in such a way that I'll be able to get my waist measurements, after measuring the circumference of this circle. So that was what I did till I got my waist measurements. I don't know if there's any other way you can calculate that one, but that's what I did. I kept coming down, and then when I come down and measure it, when it gives me my waist measurement, from there I will place my ruler, place my tape from there, and then get my half length, the other half length, the one that starts from the waist to the place you want the dress to stop. English hard though. So I've gotten my waist measurement. From there I will remove my half length, my upper body's half length. Then I will remove it from my waistline, and then get the full body measurement where I want my dress to stop. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'll do it to the end. I'll keep shifting my tape to the end the way please watch this thing well, because what I'm saying might not be what I'm doing, but just watch it well. By the way, I look like a hopeless somebody, a homeless person in my own room, but it's well. So hold the other ends together, the open ends together with pin, the way I'm doing it now, and then turn it like as if you want to make a skirt. Yes, place it like this. This is because we want to open a slit, and I don't want the slit to be in the middle. I want it to be by the side. So from that side, I came in by 8 inches, and then I cut a straight line to the waist. Please watch this part well, so that it will not be one side, it will not be haggard. That's why I did this, as you can see how it is. So I notched the upper part. So this upper body's corset part, I'm using 1 inch by both side, on both sides to cut it. So I don't want it to have too much gathers. That's why I'm doing this. I'm using 1 inch, leaving 1 inch on both ends to cut it. I don't want it to have too much gather. If you want yours to have too much gather, you can do slash or spread, or 2 inches on both sides. So this is the result. I cut two for each part. I cut two for the front, the back, the half length, the corset part, the Queen Anne neckline, and all those things, so that it will serve as a lining. This is the back. I cut 2, and this is the A-line part. I'm removing the pins that I used. Now I'm trying to cut the strip. There is a strip at the back and in front, so I'm cutting like 2 inches so that I'll be able to fold it in. So I'm putting the upper, this is the upper bodice. I'm trying to stitch the end, this upper end part, trying to stitch it together. I'm taking one part of the corset, taking one part, and then you stitch like half inches from the upper end, as you can see. Then after that, I'll come down by the side front, center front. From the center front, I'll stitch like half 1 inch to 1.5 inch, and then turn it. This is where the rope will come out from. Are you seeing it? This is where the rope will come out from, and then I will stitch down the other sides that will go inside the corset. After stitching each round, I'll stitch this other side again where the rope will stay, like 1 inch. Come down like 1 inch and stitch it down like this. This is what I'm talking about, as you can see. Okay, so for the back, for the half length, we are going to gather this corset part. We are going to gather this underbust part on the bodice, on the upper bodice. So from the armhole, I'm taking this right side will face right side on the armhole, and then you use pin to hold them down. Gather it very well, especially in the middle. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. After gathering it, now I'm going to sew it on my machine. So this is what it looks like, and you're going to do the same for the second part. So after sewing the second part like so, you can notice that I gave like 1 in that space we gave, that 1 to 1.5 inch space that we gave. We will start from there to put our lining, the bodice lining. Okay, you see the way I'm attaching it, so please look at this part very well. See the way I'm putting this side inside, so that I will achieve a neat finishing inside. If there is any other way you know how to do, please do, but this is the way I know how to do. So I'm trying to put this side inside so that I will be able to put the stitches inside. I don't know how else to explain. It's better you just watch it and look at it very well and see what I'm doing. Or better still, you can you can weave the stitch part, that's gathered part. You can weave it if you don't understand this video side. So this is how the front and the back looks like. As you can see, the neat finishing I was talking about. So I gave 1 inch on this thing, on the upper part for rope. Now I'm going to close this side up. This side, yes, I'm going to stitch it round to this side. So this is the Queen Anne part, the neckline part. I'm stitching the center front inside. I'm stitching it inside so that I'll be able to turn it. Like I told you, I cut them 2 by 2, 1 the main, 1 lining. So after stitching it, I turned it and then stitched the other side down. So this is how it looks like after stitching it. I will do the same for the second part. After that, this is how it looks like. This is how the front looks like. So we are going to stitch this down part inside. I choose to do it like this so that if I want to turn this cloth to off shoulder, I will easily remove the neckline. So I'm just going to stitch it on that 1 inch part, on that 1 inch line that I sewed for the thread. That's where I'm stitching this neckline close to the armhole. After stitching it, I'll show you. So this is how it looks like after doing that. Now I'm going to bend this strip like this. See the way I'm doing it, so that I'll be able to form a rope. After bending it, I'll stitch it down. So that's just what I did for the rope. Now we are going to pass the rope. We are going to pass the rope inside this opening, that 1.5-inch opening I was talking to you about. I'm just making a small opening in order to pass my rope. I'll pass it to the armhole, to that armhole side. I'll open that armhole side and pass it too, and then stitch that armhole side together to hold the rope, so that when I draw it, the rope will not come out. So this is me passing the rope towards the armhole side, like I told you. After passing it depends on how long you want the rope to be, or how full you want that place to be, like I told you when we were cutting it, placing it on fabric to cut. So you stitch down that side, remove the safety pin and stitch down that side, so that when you draw the rope, it will not come out. So this is how the front looks like after stitching the rope inside. So we now proceed to the back. So I notched the center front of the upper bodice. So for the back neckline, I did the same too, but what I did was to pass a rope before I stitched it back. As you can see what I'm doing, I put the rope inside the right side that is facing the right side, so that it will come out on the wrong side the way I'm doing it now, and then I stitch the rope inside. So this is what I'm talking about. This is how it is. I will now stitch the remaining side together, and I'll do the same for the second part. So this is the back. I've already notched the dart side, so I will remove these pins and then hold the dart first of all. So after stitching the darts, this is the dart. After stitching the darts, this is for one side though, I had to place the armhole, the Queen Anne neckline, in line with the armhole. See the way I'm doing it, you put it together, the way you cut it now, but here I'm trying to achieve a neat finishing. So I placed it near to the armhole and then stitch like 1/2 inch on the top part to hold it down. After that, for the loop, I left 1/2 inch on the up part. You can leave 1 inch, but I left half on the upper part, and then I used like about 1 inch gap. Like after the 1/2 inch, I measure like 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch to the down, so that I'll be able to place my loops. So I'm cutting these loops about 2 inches or 1.5 inch, depending on how small you want the loop to be. So this is the way I'm placing the loops. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm doing, but I'm just creating like a C kind of, see the way I'm turning it, C kind of on top of that 1 inch that I've marked. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So this is how it looks like after stitching the loops. So I closed it with the lining as shown, closing it with the lining, and then I'll stitch it all the way down to the lining. So this is what it looks like after turning it inside out. You can see how neat it's looking. Okay, so take your time to watch this video very well, because it might be overwhelming at first, but when you watch it for the second time, you will understand. Okay, so this is how it is. I'm just going to stitch down this remaining part. This is the side place. So this is how it looks like after doing it for the other side. So I'm bringing the front so that we'll be able to stitch the shoulder line together. Now there's something I want to do here. I want to put this front part, the neckline, the shoulder of the front line, put it inside like as the way I'm showing you right now, and then turn it so that I'll be able to stitch down that part. It will help the work to be neater around the shoulder side. So see what I'm doing and watch this part very well. I beg go. So you turn it out again, and this is what it looks like after stitching it down from the inside, so in order to hide the shoulder line. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the rope. You do the same for the second part. So it's time to stitch it down with your measurements. So we took in 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. You can now sew down the 1.5 inch on both sides now. So after sewing it down, this is what it looks like when you turn it from the inside out. This is the front part. After turning it, this is what it looks like. Now we are going to attach the A-line part. This A-line part, remember where we slit, the slit part, that part we notched. I'm going to stitch that part together by 1 inch. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm stitching that 1 inch. I'm stitching this 1 inch till where I want the slit to start. If you want the slit to be high, you can maybe stitch from there to maybe 14 inches, 15 inches. Okay, so I think I stopped at about 16 inches. Okay, you can also stop at your knee line, 18 or 19 inches. When you get to that part, you stop. So after doing that, you turn it like this. You turn it upside down, then fold this part maybe half inch. We stitch by 1 inch, so you fold half inch so that that place will open, and then you stitch it down the way I'm showing you right now. So when you turn to the other side and then continue folding it half inch. When you fold half, you then fold another half to give you 1 inch, and then you make a straight line and come down to the other side of the leg. This is how I do my own stitch opening most times. It's quite easier. So this is how the slit looks like after sewing it the way I showed you. This is how the slit looks like. This is how I normally sew my slits. So I'm going to open that pin part, that place I joined, the zipper part. I'm opening it right now so that we'll be able to attach it to the place, to the upper bodice. So I notched the center front of the A-line, and then I'm placing the upper bodice together. You know that I notched the upper bodice too, so the center front too. So I'm placing it together to stitch. So after joining it, you close it like this in order to stitch down the part you will put your zip. Okay, so I came down by 7 inches or so. You can come down by 8 inches depending on how long your zip is. So I'm taking in 1 inch for the zip allowance, 1 inch for the zip allowance, and then I'll stitch to 7 inches down. Like from 7 inches, that's where my stitch will start. So this is how it looks like after stitching the A-line together with the upper bodice. Now this is the zipper part I was telling you about, and this is the 7 inches I left for the zip. Okay, I bent this upper part inside so that no rough edge will show, and then I placed my zipper, opened it to use pin to the end. That was what I did for both ends, and then I stitched it down. So this is for the hand. This is the hand part. I'm trying to make a curve. You know that the hand is short and gathered, so you see how I did it. It's just your regular hand cutting, but this one is just free hand, so that I will have enough gathers. Came down to about 7 inches or so. Came down to about 7 inches, and then I cut my sleeve. So this is the outcome of the sleeve cutting. then I notched the upper part. So after bending the rough edge by 1/2 inch, I closed it and stitched it, like measured my armhole divided by 2 this time around. My armhole is about 11 or so I divided it by 2. So you can see how I stitched it towards that curved part, so that I will have enough space for gathering it, you get. Yes, so that to go around the armhole and then I will have space to gather it too. So I turned it and then placed this part I'm open, placed it on the armhole, the beginning of the armhole, like the bust part. So after doing that, I stitched it, like gathering it. As I was sewing it, I was gathering it up to the end of the sleeve so that it will have gathers. Okay, that was what I did. So this is how the first part looks like, and then we'll continue. So this is the outcome of the sleeve stitching. As you can see, it came out very fine. The gather, I didn't want the gathers to be too much, so that was why I cut that sleeve like that. Thanks for watching. Sorry my camera was not too sharp, but this clothes was actually beautiful.